Good morning, everyone. So, today our topic is adsorption isotherm. It is a relation between the amount of substance absorbed by the adsorbent. So, this is your adsorbent. Kinna saman, kinna amount of substance has been absorbed and the equilibrium gas pressure at a constant temperature, right? So, how I am going to make it graphically? It is going to be like this. So it is basically X upon M, that is the extent of adsorption and the pressure at a constant temperature. So if I am going to have a T as a constant, right? So the pressure which would be obtained as a pressure, that would be a saturated pressure, क्योंकि जब adsorption हो रही है, अगर मैं प्रेशर अप्लाई करूंगी, एक्सटेंट ऑफ एड्सॉर्प्शन क्या करूंगी, इंक्रीज करूंगी. एक्सटेंट ऑफ एड्सॉर्प्शन मीन्स प्रेशराइज कितना आहा सरफेस हैगा ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ अगर मैं गैस प्रेशराइज करूंगी ਤਾਂ अमाउंट ऑफ गैस वुड बी एड्सॉर्ब. पर एक बार ਜੇ ਸਰਫੇਸ ਭਰ ਗਈ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟਲੀ ਇਟ ਹੈਜ਼ ਰੀਚ ਟੂ ਅ ਸੈਚੂਰੇਟਡ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ, ਮਤਲਬ no more adsorption can be done. So adsorption generally increase with increase in pressure. Understand by this. So adsorption it increase in pressure. अगर मैं प्रेशर इंक्रीज करूंगी, एड्सॉर्प्शन इंक्रीज करूंगी. सो इट इज अ रिलेशन बिटवीन द अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस एड्सॉर्ब्ड बाय द एड्सॉर्बेंट एंड द इक्विलिब्रियम गैस प्रेशर, that is concentration of a solution at a constant temperature, is called adsorption isotherm. So extent of adsorption is X by M. So what does X by M denote? It denotes the extent of adsorption, right? And what does X denote? X denote the mass of adsorbate. And what does M denote? It is the mass of adsorbent. So hopefully you understood. It's the relation between the amount of gas adsorbed to that of the pressure. So if I'm going to increase the pressure, extent of adsorption is going to be increased and it will reach a point when adsorption will stop because the surface would be wholly occupied, and in this case that is called as saturated pressure. At this pressure, that is PS, the amount of gas adsorbed become equal to the amount of gas desorbed, क्योंकि these are reversible processes, so that the extent of adsorption become constant even though the pressure is increased. अगर मैं pressure जितना मर्जी increase करी जावा, there won't be any effect of the adsorption rate. So this state is called as saturated pressure. What is this called as? This is called as saturated pressure or saturated state, right? So this is called as saturated pressure. So जिथे ਆਪਾਂ ਹੋਰ adsorption or amount of substance adsorb नहीं कर सकते. So this is called saturated adsorption or saturated state. Now we are going to discuss what will happen अगर आहा चीज adsorption isotherm है. We have to write it as a mathematical equation and it was given by Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So let us study Freundlich. So the variation of extent of adsorption with the pressure at a constant temperature was given by mathematically by Freundlich in 1909. So basically he categorized the things adsorption in three basic categories: at low pressure, at high pressure, and at moderate or intermediate range of pressure. So let us discuss by making a graph. So let us understand by Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Basically, he categorized these into three categories. At low pressure, that where the X upon M would be equal to K and P. So what is that? At low pressure, चाहे मैं हजे adsorption हो ही नहीं हैगी, अगर मैं pressure apply भी किता ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਲ adsorption ਦਾ rate क्या करूँगा, increase करूँगा. So it would be approximately a straight line. So as we increase the pressure, the extent of adsorption is going to be increased. So it is denoted by a straight line. It means it is directly proportional to it. So at a low pressure, X by M is directly proportional to pressure. or I can say x by m is equal to k into p, where k is a constant of proportionality. The second case, that is at a high pressure. High pressure means इतना pressure apply करता कि अगर एड्जॉर्प्शन हो चुकी है तो सरफेस खाली बिल्कुल नहीं हैगी, तो कोई इफेक्ट ही नहीं होगा चाहे मैं जितना मर्जी प्रेशर बता दा. सो इट बिकम्स अ इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ द प्रेशर वेयर इट इज नोटेड बाय पी नॉट. सो द ग्राफ बिकम ऑलमोस्ट अ कांस्टेंट. हियर द ग्राफ इज ऑलमोस्ट अ कांस्टेंट, which means that extent of adsorption becomes independent of the pressure, right? So if it becomes a independent, I can say the x upon m is a constant, right? Or I can say x by m is directly proportional to pressure, where it is a zeroth, means it is independent of the pressure. If I can denote like this also, x by m is equal to k into p naught. So what does it become? It becomes independent of pressure. While in the third case, we have a intermediate. This is the intermediate part where it depend upon pressure but is a fractional term. Thus, intermediate at intermediate range of pressure. So what will happen there? The extent of adsorption will depend upon the power of pressure, which is between 0 to 1. That is fractional power of pressure. So I can denote it as, अगर मैं pressure increase करूँगी, the extent of adsorption definitely will increase, but won't be considered straight. मतलब एक time आऊगा कि वो constant होना शुरू हो जाएगी. एक बार जब मैं surface occupy हो जाएगी तो constant बनना शुरू हो जाएगी. So extent of adsorption is equal to k into p 1 by nth term. So where n can be any whole number value which depend upon the nature of adsorbate and adsorbent. So सारियां values किधर पर depend करती हैं? Nature of adsorbate and adsorbent. So this is a relation between the Freundlich adsorption isotherm, which is a very important topic for your board exams. So Freundlich adsorption isotherm basically deal with a low pressure, at a high pressure and at an intermediate pressure. So this is the limitation of Freundlich adsorption isotherm, that this isotherm do not work at high pressure. The limitation हैगी है that it do not work at a high pressure of gas. Therefore, this relation is considered as approximate and is applicable only at a low pressures. So if it is a low pressure, then only this will work. So our next topic is adsorption isobars. There is the extent of adsorption with respect to temperature when the pressure is constant. This is for the physical adsorption and this is for the chemical adsorption. In both cases, the pressure is constant and it depends upon the extent of adsorption with respect to temperature. So the graph between the extent of adsorption and temperature at a constant pressure is called as adsorption isobar. Iso means same and bar means pressure. So why there is a trend like this? अपन पता है फिजिकल एड्जॉर्प्शन ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ bonds ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ they are not very strong. So if I am going to increase the temperature, the molecules will desorb from the surface because they are attached by a very weak forces of attraction. While in case of a chemisorption, first it increases and then decreases. क्योंकि temperature increase करांगे ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ temperature ਆਪਾਂ provide ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ that is used to increase the activation energy. Once the activation energy has been achieved, then there is going to be a degrade in the chemisorption, as the temperature which we are increasing is used to break those the chemical bonds which have done before. So let us discuss some applications of adsorption. First is in the gas masks. Activated charcoal or a mixture of adsorbent is generally used in gas masks to adsorb the poisonous and the toxic gases from the air. These masks are commonly used by the miners because these are poisonous gases. So ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ gas mask ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ poisonous gases ਤੋਂ ਬਚ ਸਕੀਏ, so they are having a activated charcoal in it. The second is in dyeing material. Dyeing cloth means अगर आपा किसी दे अंदर रंग चढ़ाना है, मॉडर्न सच एज एलम्स फटकड़ी are used in dyeing of cloth. They absorb the dye particle, otherwise which do not stick to the cloth. The third is in dehumidizers. अगर कंट्रोल करनी है ਆਪਾਂ humidity, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ silica gel हो गया, that is used in the application of adsorption. The fourth is your removal of coloring matter. ਆਪਾਂ ਕਲਰਿੰਗ ਮੈਟਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚੋਂ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੰਗ ਕਾਟ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ, ਰੰਗ ਕਾਟ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ, that is a removal of coloring matter. So many substances such as sugar, juice, vegetable oils are colored due to presence of impurities. उन्हों अगर decolorize करना है, then we are using a activated charcoal or fuller's earth. The fifth is your heterogeneous catalysis. The phenomenon of adsorption is useful in heterogeneous catalysis. जिमें कि solid surface which is providing a surface for the adsorption. So iron, nickel, platinum are used in the manufacturing of process. For example, in the Haber's process, in the contact process, we are using finely divided nickel. Sixth point in adsorption indicators. Many adsorption indicators are used in volumetric analysis. आप titration च use करते हैं, so that can be used. And the next is your production of high vacuum. So the adsorption of air in liquid air help to create a vacuum in a vessel. This process is used to create a high vacuum instruments. So these and many more are applications of adsorption where we use these things in our day-to-day life. So now we are going to talk about the next topic, that is catalysis. What are catalysis? It is a substance which alters the rate of chemical reaction. जो chemical reaction ਦੇ rate मतलब speed of chemical reaction ਨੂੰ change ਕਰ ਦੂਗਾ, alter ਕਰ ਦੂਗਾ without itself being undergoing any change in mass and the chemical composition at the end of the reaction. That is called as catalysis. So at the end of the reaction, we'll obtain that catalyst back. So what is catalysis? It was first given by Berzelius. The name of the scientist was Berzelius, Berzelius, in 1835. Right? He was the first scientist who made systematic study of the effect of various foreign substances on the rate of a chemical reaction. मतलब different अगर मैं catalyst पाऊंगी तो क्या क्या rate change होगा, that is all done by the catalysis by the Berzelius. So catalyst is substance which alter the rate of a chemical reaction without itself. ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ consume नहीं करते, अगर use हो भी रहा है during a reaction, it would be obtained as such at the end of the reaction. So the phenomenon of increasing the rate by using the catalyst is called as catalysis. So the phenomenon of using a catalyst in the reaction is called as catalysis. The phenomenon is called as catalysis. So some catalysts are not consumed in the reaction, but it can be used in some way by forming an intermediate and can be obtained as such at the end of the reaction. So our next topic is what is positive catalysis and negative catalysis. So if a catalyst increase the rate of a reaction, it is called as positive catalyst, and the phenomenon is called as positive catalysis. For example, the oxidation of SO2 to SO3 in the presence of vanadium pentoxide as the catalyst. This is an example of a positive catalysis. In this case, it increases the rate of reaction. This catalyst is going to increase the rate of reaction. It is going to convert the SO2 into SO3 in an easier way. While what is negative catalysis? So if a catalyst decreases the rate of reaction or retards the reaction rate, that is called as negative catalysis. For example, the decomposition of H2O2 in the presence of phosphoric acid, or we can say example of acetanilide. Then if this decomposition occurs by acetanilide or phosphoric acid, then it is going to retard the reaction. The decomposition is going to be a smaller, slower process. So this is an example of a negative catalysis. So let us understand the function of a catalyst. If you can see this graphical plot, it's energy versus the reaction path. The reactant energy is same, the product energy is same. So this is a question to you people. So why the reactants have a high energy and the products have a low energy? As the reactants are unstable, they want to become more stable. Just you need to remember one thing. अगर किसी दी एनर्जी ज़्यादा होगी तो उदी स्टेबिलिटी कट होगी, while अगर किसी चीज़ दी एनर्जी कट होगी तो उदी स्टेबिलिटी क्या होगी, ज़्यादा होगी. So the reactants are going to convert into product. So in this case, this is a reaction path for the uncatalyzed reaction. So what does it mean? कि अगर मैं ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ એનર્ਜੀ ਲਗਾਣੀ ਪਊਗੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਐਕਟੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਇੰਟਰਮੀਡੀਏਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਰਾਈਟ। ਸੋ ਅਗਰ ਦੇਖੋ, ਅਗਰ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਪੌੜੀ ਚੜ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ, ਸਪੋਜ਼ ਇਫ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਵਿਦ ਅ ਲੈਡਰ, there is a swing, right? So agar main ladder chad rahi hai, there is a intermediate stage and ultimately I have to come back to a slope. इस तरह का स्विंग सब ने देखा होगा दैट अगर ऊपर पौड़ी चढ़ी, इत्थे बैठे और अल्टीमेटली नीचे रुड़ते हुए आ गए। सो इट मीनस कि जो मैंने एनर्जी लगानी पई आ पौड़ियां चढ़न ते इंटरमीडिएट तक पहुंचने वास्ते, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी। सो व्हाट इज ये हेयर? इट इज द एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी, इट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड टू रीच द इंटरमीडिएट स्टेट। सो रिएक्टेंट तो इंटरमीडिएट जाने वास्ते मैंने ज्यादा एनर्जी लगानी पई अगर मैं कोई कैटलिस्ट नहीं यूज किया, ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ। ਭਾਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਉਹਦੀ એનર્ਜੀ ਤਾਂ ਚੇਂਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ। ਵਾਈਲ ਵੈਨ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਗੋਇੰਗ ਟੂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਦ ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ, इट इज गोइंग टू ऑल्टरनेट द पाथवे छोटा करता। अगर पाथवे छोटा हो गया, घट एनर्जी लगानी पई तो प्रोडक्ट तो उत्थे बन गया। सो द प्रोडक्ट इज फॉर्म्ड इन अ ईजियर वे, इन अ अर्लियर, right? So this is a path which is involved in an uncatalyzed reaction, while this is a path which is involved in a catalyzed path or a catalyzed reaction. So this energy is called as activation energy, which is used in a catalyst, and this is a uncatalyzed reaction activation energy. So let us understand the function of catalyst. So a catalyst provides entirely a new path for the reaction in which the reactants are converted into product quickly. While it is believed that catalyst forms a new activated complex, the state where the transition state may occur, so this forms a entirely new activated complex of lower potential energy. See here, the potential energy is lesser and there the potential energy is greater. So consequently the fraction of total number of collision processing at lower activation energy is increased, and hence the rate of reaction is going to be increased. So the following points about a catalyst we should be knowing. मतलब कैटलिस्ट वो चीज है जो ऑल्टरनेट पाथवे देगा, रिएक्टेंट की एनर्जी वही रहेगी, प्रोडक्ट की एनर्जी वही रहेगी। सो सम पॉइंट्स आई शुड बी रिमेंबरिंग व्हाइल अंडरस्टैंडिंग अ कैटलिस्ट। द फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज अ कैटलिस्ट में अंडरगो इंटरमीडिएट फिजिकल चेंजेस। ओ भाई थोड़े बहुत चेंजेस कर सकता है, पर अगर आप कोल इनिशियल रिएक्टेंट दे विच यूज होया तो एट द एंड ऑफ द रिएक्शन आप कोल ऑब्टेन हो जाऊगा एज सच। So basically a catalyst may undergo intermediate physical changes and it may even form a temporary bonds, but it is recovered unchanged. The second point is the catalyst speed up the reaction. भाई अपने आप ही अगर छोटा पाथवे होगा तो रिएक्शन तो फास्ट हो ही जाना है, बट डज नॉट शिफ्ट द इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन। इक्विलिब्रियम उठी रहेगा, द रिएक्टेंट एंड प्रोडक्ट्स आर गोइंग टू बी एट द सेम प्लेस. The third one is they are highly specific in nature. What does highly specific means? A catalyst which can catalyze one reaction may not affect on the another reaction. अगर एक दवाई एक वास्ते यूज हो रही है तो जरूरी नहीं है कि दूसरे वास्ते भी यूज होवे. The fourth point does not change the delta E of the reaction. Delta E ਦਾ मतलब ਹੁੰਦਾ है delta E is energy of a product minus energy of a reactant. It is not going to change that particular thing. Fifth point is a catalyst does not change the thermodynamic parameters. Delta U, what is that? It is an internal energy, enthalpy, entropy, and Gibbs free energy. It is not going to change those functional properties of a equilibrium. Now we are going to discuss some terms, very important terms, what are promoters and what are poisons. So let us understand what are promoters. ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ ਦਾ ਬਾਪ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਾਪ। ਸੋ ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਬਾਪ ਸੀਗਾ ਜੋ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਸਪੀਡ ਇਨਕਰੀਜ਼ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ। ਹੁਣ ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਾਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ that is called as a promoter. So what is a promoter? It is a substance that enhance the activity of catalyst. So what is it? It is a substance which increase or which enhance, right, the activity of catalyst. जो catalyst the activity no भी increase करूगा, that is called as a promoter. So let us take an example. Come on, that is going to be nitrogen. Nitrogen when combined with the 3 molecules of hydrogen, it forms a ammonia, and this is called as Haber's process. You all people know. अगर ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਰਨ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ ਯੂਜ਼ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਮੋਲਿਬਡਨਮ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਪ੍ਰੋਮੋਟਰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਬਾਪ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਾਪ, ਅਗਰ ਆ ਬਾਪ ਸੀਗਾ ਡਿਊਰਿੰਗ ਅ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ, ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਕਾਲਡ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਬਾਪ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਾਪ, that is called as a promoter. The next point is what are poisons? Poisons क्या ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ? ਜ਼ਹਿਰ क्या ਹੁੰਦਾ है जो किसी ਦੀ ਵੀ एक्टिविटी ਨੂੰ क्या कर दूगा? डिक्रीज कर दूगा. So what are poisons? These are substances which decrease the activity of a catalyst. So these are the substances which decrease the activity of catalyst. Catalyst the activity ਨੂੰ ਜੋ decrease ਕਰੂਗਾ that is called as a poison. So in these cases ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ carbon monoxide, ਜਿਵੇਂ arsenic, etc. So these act as a poison and then lower the activity of a catalyst. So next terminology which we are going to discuss is a homogeneous catalyst. What is a homogeneous catalyst? When a catalyst is present in the same phase if means अगर reactant gas है, product भी gas है और जेड़ा कि catalyst हैगा वो भी gas है. So when the catalyst is present in the same phase as that of a reactant and product, that is called as homogeneous catalyst. And the phenomenon is called as homogeneous catalysis. For example, SO2, that is a gas. It combines with oxygen, that is a gas, to form a gas SO3 in the presence of a catalyst, that is a NO, which is also gas. If they are in a same phase, that is called as a homogeneous catalyst. If they are in a same phase, like in this case, sucrose hydrolysis, that is all liquid. It forms an aqueous solution of a glucose and a fructose. So both are again what? A liquid. So that in this process we are using the acidic component aqueous, and this is called as homogeneous catalyst. When all the reactant and products and the catalyst even are in the same phase, that is called as a heterogeneous catalysis. The next one is heterogeneous catalyst. What are heterogeneous catalysts? When the catalyst is in the different phase than the reactant, that is called as a heterogeneous catalysis. Can you see this? The reactants are in gases and the products are in gases or liquids, and while there are a catalyst in a solid state. So when the catalyst is in different phase than that of a reactant and the product, that is called as heterogeneous catalyst, and the process or the phenomenon is called as heterogeneous catalysis. So example is hydrogen and nitrogen, they combine together to form ammonia. So what is the catalyst used? That is your Rn. Carbon monoxide plus hydrogen gives you methanol. So what is the catalyst used? That is the copper in a solid state. So these are the example of a heterogeneous catalyst. So let us discuss some very important catalyst name though. Then this, that is the first is called as, in your chemistry you will study these, that is a Ziegler-Natta catalyst. What is this? This is a catalyst which is a heterogeneous catalysis which is used in polymerization. ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ use ਕਰਾਂਗੇ polymers chapter ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ polymerization reactions ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ use ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. So this is basically TiR3Al, right? So what is R? It is a alkyl group and it is a heterogeneous catalyst used in polymerization. The second catalyst which we use is Wilkinson. So it's Wilkinson catalyst. So this is also example of a heterogeneous catalysis, right? So its formula is RHClPPH